Hello and welcome back to the TMR podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, I am Greg, joined by my brilliant co-host Adam. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm
Yeah?
good. Yeah, glad to be back.
Perfect.
As always.
Absolutely, mate. Before we get started, make sure to follow us on Instagram. It is TMR Podcast.
Sweet.
And on Twitter as well. We've rebranded. We
Oh,
are
nice.
TMR Official Pod, I believe.
Oh, sweet. That's a banging name. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're like fully embracing the fact that we are TMR.
How did you feel about the rebrand? You happy about it?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I feel like for a tiny bit of context, I'm sure eventually we'll do some sort of this is who we were years ago.
Yeah.
But we've basically been on and off podcasting for what, like since 2018?
Yeah.
Like
fucking
around
3 years.
Around this time in 2018, probably
Hideous.
something like that, which
Yeah.
is disgusting. But it was always a little bit slapdash, a bit rough around the edges when we were doing it before.
Well, we moved around. We didn't really know what we were doing, I think is fair to say. And we
I totally agree with that.
We had a lot of circumstances where it was, we didn't know what we were doing, and we were set up with this podcast studio that it wasn't a podcast studio. And then we went into my room and recorded on like a £50 mic and thought like, oh, this is it, lads.
Yeah.
And then we went into a different room that we turned in.
This is the studio, boys.
Yeah, then
it was just like one little tiny mic.
Yeah, exactly. Then we turned like a library study room into a studio. But then even then, like, I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. Yeah, and we don't know what the fuck we're doing now, so nothing
really
changes.
Changed.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
No. But no, like I think changing it up was a good thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, we used to be the Men's Room podcast. That was the point,
that was
wasn't
our
it?
old name, but I think it gave off the wrong vibe a little bit because
Yeah.
the Men's Room set, it reminds me of like, what was that fucking chocolate bar? Oh, you know, girls aren't allowed.
Oh, Yorkie.
Yeah, it reminded me of like, it's like, that's not really what we're about. Like,
Yeah.
we're a little bit blokey, but we're not like, hey, football and bitches and birds. Like, we're not really about that. Like, it's not when we're sober. No,
yeah, speak for yourself, mate.
No, we're genuinely like, that's a joke. We're not actually like that. And I think we've always avoided being overly like, oh, I'm going to have a pint and play darts and talk about birds. Like, it's not really what we've ever been about. Like,
do you like playing darts? Do you enjoy darts at all?
I can barely fucking catch, let alone throw. Like,
That's not. You're playing darts wrong.
I know,
You're playing darts
like,
wrong if you're trying to catch the bastards.
In any sort of sporty shit, I'm useless.
Oh, okay.
Like
I'm with
the mighty T-Rex would be better at playing darts. Like, honestly, I've gone through a pandemic and couldn't even catch COVID. Never mind anything else. Like, I'm fucking useless.
Fuck's sake. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I derailed your point there, asking you about pub sports.
But yeah, like,
and also the Men's Room sounds a bit like a toilet.
Yeah,
I'll throw it out there.
Which I think was always like a bit of the joke with the title. But, and also there's people who had obviously had the same idea because there were one or two other Men's Room podcasts with almost the exact same branding, which was like
fuckers.
Fucking
Bastards. Yeah, I know.
Which is just like, fuck off.
But now we're TMR with all the fucking neon shit and the lights and
it's much more.
It's the vibe.
It's much more like it's got its own personality. It's
Absolutely.
not just like, oh, here's a toilet sign with Men's Room.
For real.
It's like, what, where you piss and shit and snort stuff on an
I knew you were gonna go there. Oh, like who's gonna get there first?
Like that's what you do in the toilet. It's like really what you want to be doing. Do your business in the toilet.
Yeah, but exactly that. But it was a good fucking first podcast, mate. I feel like we nailed it. Not to toot our own horns too much, but I think we had a good time.
I think it was the best podcast of all time.
It might be,
it's up
it might be up there.
It's GOAT podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
like,
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else would be on there.
Mount Rushmore of podcasts or podcast episodes.
Podcast episodes. Let's do that.
Oh, mate, how many podcast episodes have there been?
It's too many.
We'll come back with that.
Yeah.
I like that as a segment.
We'll bring that back up at some point.
You bring 4 and I'll bring 4 and we'll compare notes.
And that's a good idea.
Look out for that. I'm looking forward to it already.
Oh, it's off the cuff.
Yeah. Oh. Jamie, make a note. Jamie's our producer.
You're Jamie. I've done D&D. One of the things with Joe Rogan, I can't take him seriously anymore because there is a meme. It's the Joe Rogan looks like the guy in a Batman game who goes, "It's the Bat!" and gets like the shit kicked out of him. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And it's like, oh shit.
There's a fucking TikTok account that just like so you know like Surf Roach and Much Dank, those like YouTube edits of the True Geordie podcast, but it's good or something like that, and he edits like the clips together. There's a guy on TikTok that's doing that for Joe Rogan, and it's just the funniest fucking shit. Let me try and find an example.
Like all of a sudden I'd be trying to prove that I'm not crazy when I knew I wasn't crazy.
Right. That's what I mean. It just catches you off guard. It's like, what the fuck is that about?
I love shit like that. It's so stupid. Fuck me.
Joe Rogan, he opens himself up for it as well with the ice bath thing. Like,
yeah, that's the picture.
Yeah.
He's like that. He's like, it's the bet! Just the image of him getting completely fucking ragdolled by Kevin Conroy like immediately afterwards.
Oh, we need to do like an in-depth like person of interest deep dive into Joe Rogan. I think
we're gonna dive into Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
okay, we can dive
into his ice bath with Joe Rogan.
Into his little sensory deprivation tank.
The three of us in an ice bath,
just bathing in elk blood.
Yeah,
like,
doing DMT.
That sounds great.
Great. Let's do
a free
it.
Weekend.
I'll email him like that.
Yeah.
So as typical, as what's the word? As standard, as tradition.
As per usual.
Cauliflower is traditional. Mate, my mind's all fucking over the place today. I've been like up since 6, been fucking running around working, went to the gym this morning, wired, but good.
Right. Dwayne Johnson, fucking going to the gym in the morning.
Mate,
fucking,
stay hungry with Devouter.
Yeah, eat the flowers.
So I found this on Reddit and it was quite fun. Oh no, actually, I want to show you this. Right, okay. So this is fucking insane. I don't know if you saw this. This happened in America because fucking, of course, all this kind of shit happens in America. It's
the way.
This guy on the run from the police. And it looks like footage straight out of like GTA 6.
Christ,
I thought it was like a trailer for GTA 6.
Well,
it's
done a live action
fucking
trailer.
immense. Watch this with me.
Here at I-25 at Thornton Parkway almost was caught by the officers. They were trying to join the highway.
Jesus.
Goes southbound on Peoria. Here on Peoria, dives around. Look there at 64th Avenue, nearly hit some other cars. And this is where I thought he was going to get caught. He ended
so
up
look, straight away there,
here
you would think
really
any other normal man, of course, granted, he's not normal. He's running from the police.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think the jig is up. Like, he's just in a car park.
You've literally put yourself in a tiny little box.
Yeah, exactly. No, not this dig either.
Not this guy. He's
land near about 69th Avenue. He decides to go up into the grass over the curb there, and he can see there's no restrictions right through the little fence and then down the embankment and on.
The car even has GTA physics. Do you see it like bobbling about? You know, it's like a little bit like a boat.
A bit like that.
Yeah.
It's like buoying.
76. So that's how he was able to escape the side streets and then get back up on the highway. This is where he was going on I-76 for a while, stops. This is where he carjacks that family, the couple. He
appears to have carjacked Walter White as well.
Oh yeah, that's their car, isn't
almost
it?
Exactly the same as fucking Walt's car.
Open. Gets the driver out. The passenger, she jumps out of the car right now and then goes to the side. And this is when he has that gold minivan and then drives away, back going the wrong way on I-76, nearly hitting. Look at that. Semis, police officers. They try to get the stop sticks out and throw it across the highway, but unfortunately they missed. And he
hit another fucking car.
Yeah, they just fucked someone else's wheels.
Wow!
Imagine, yeah.
Doesn't mind your own business. You see a car going the wrong way, and then your fucking tire explodes.
Both of them.
What?
Fucked, mate.
Hitting a few cars. This is later on, after he drove on E470, after he hit that state trooper. He now tries to get out of the car and tries to...
It's Ali G, fucking...
yeah, in the house.
Carjack that guy in the BMW. He then bumps that.
I love it's the fucking narrator, the news guy, just keeps saying, and then he did that.
And then he did that.
It's like a 4-year-old. It's like a 4-year-old telling a story.
Yeah. And then the car did this, and then it drove on the wrong side of the road, and then the police threw a thing, and then that hit another car.
Literally.
Hits this lady. This is the next car that he carjacks when he just got off of Peoria, just south of E470. He pretends that, hey, I just hit you. I'm in an accident. What's going on? And he gets up to the woman's door. He opens it up and then rips her out, throws her to the ground, and then takes her car and then continues on his wild chase. I was scared right there. I thought, let it go. Just let the car go. Don't go chasing after the car. He then comes into the intersection right here at Peoria and Lincoln Avenue, where he causes that accident. The car is undrivable. He jumps out, almost trapped.
Look, he's going for another fucking car. That's a police car right there.
It's just like in for a penny, in for a pound.
Bro,
yeah. Like, the guy is just like, I'm just going to keep jacking as many cars. I've jacked one.
Yeah.
Fuck it, 5.
Bro,
like,
it's fucking... Yeah, and I bet, like, all he did was, like, nick a Mars bar or something.
Yeah, it's probably,
it just feels...
really minimal.
Whatever he's done cannot be...
He's got, like, a fucking can... He's got, like, some fucking Mountain Dew. And he's
Maybe, yeah, literally.
Oh, shit, the cops are on me. Best drive the fuck out of here.
But, and then these motherfuckers going around like he's got a 5-star wanted level.
I'm expecting, like, helicopters and tanks to
yeah,
start
yeah.
Are there and take it again, but he was
He's done a fucking loop-the-loop around this guy.
County deputy there, and now he's on foot, running through the front yard of that bank. He goes around the bank, slips and falls on the snow, loses his jacket, and eventually goes over to a fence where he can't get through anymore. And this is where the officers eventually get him without any other resistance, which was thankful news. So a very scary chase that lasted about 45 minutes or so this morning, and thankfully it didn't turn out worse.
Then he just laid down and then just
I was hoping he was going to like lay down and cover himself with snow. And then they'd be like,
like
where'd he go? We don't know where the guy's gone. And then he like, man, just fucking like emerge out of it. Like, it's those fucking, the Royal Marines adverts.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like, launch him already have it. Those fucking things. I'm expecting, boom, like, he just eyes fucking bulge open, just bursts out the snow and legs it like a fucking puma. Like,
but yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's probably breathing out of his arsehole after all of that. Like,
yeah, that's something that's gonna fucking have you off your fucking bean. Just
incredible.
be like, like, you'd be so gassed out after that.
I don't even know what the crime was. I don't think anyone really does. It was in Colorado, but hey, it was pretty incredible.
No,
I thought it was worth
fucking
batty.
Nuts.
Yeah. How big are you into NFTs, by the way? This is a whole topic, I suppose, in itself.
I keep seeing it on Twitter, and I basically get the idea that it's you own is it like a digital copy of a piece of art, but basically anyone can just screenshot it, and it's like, hey, you're stealing my fucking property, bro.
Okay, so I have
what?
I have a guy here who's going to tell us exactly what NFTs are. And he's telling Quentin Tarantino as well, one of our favourite directors. And bear in mind, this is interesting. This is where it gets interesting. I want to emphasise that. This is where it gets interesting.
It's interesting.
This is where it gets interesting.
If you were to actually NFTize every frame of Pulp Fiction, let's say, the shot where the two of them are holding the guns has become like that meme image. Yeah. Holy Christ. Dude, that would sell for millions for sure. Tens of millions? That one frame.
To not sound like a clueless dork, how is that different from all the stills that already exist?
All right, so this is where it gets interesting. Think about
because who doesn't have that? Who didn't have that poster on that bootleg poster on their wall?
Exactly. Right-click save. Right. That's the big question in the NFT space. But here's what people aren't thinking about: the image of the NFT isn't the thing; it's the sense of ownership. Now, when you own it, now we're down to the blockchain, and this is where NFTs get interesting. At the level of the blockchain,
let him finish. He's just going to get interesting.
Matrix code inside of it, literally. And now I can detect through technology whether you have the real one or a fake one.
Gotcha. Oh,
and if you have the real one, you can come have dinner with Quentin every year, whatever, on the launch date of the film. And if you don't, you get fuck all. You get to enjoy the image, but you don't get, like, the Matrix code inside.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you were...
So...
That wasn't very interesting.
He proceeded to make that as boring as fucking possible.
That's really interesting.
Matrix code.
It's like, fuck off.
He lost me when he said the point of NFTs is sense of ownership.
Yeah, it reminded me of I don't know how big of a gamer you are, but do you remember when Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out? It gives the player a real sense of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it fucking doesn't. It gives me an empty fucking wallet. Is what it gives me in the excess of £2,000.
Yeah, because you had to wait.
Con artists.
Yeah. Yeah, because
it was a whole thing where the
microtransactions.
And it was like, we think you should unlock Darth Vader at level 50 because it gives you a real sense of pride and accomplishment. If I pay an extra £100, I can just have that. Yeah, you can have it right away, which is an even better sense of pride and accomplishment.
Right.
And we get to keep your money.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, fuck you.
It's
what
mental.
that reminded me of. It's one of those like little fucking trends where you're like, That's
Do you think
stupid.
NFTs are a trend? Or do you think they are the future? It's a very big question.
It's a glorified screenshot. I don't fucking get it.
Yes.
Like, it's just like...
That's what I see it as.
Because I've seen so many people, like, they get an NFT screenshotted and people are like, I'm going to fucking call my lawyer on you. That's my fucking property. And it's like, spin on it, you bellend. Like,
Well, is it also not... It feels a little bit like another one of those other rich people, like money laundering... Like,
yeah, it just feels like a fucking
when you put
con.
your like cash into like gold bars so that they don't get tax, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a bit of a tax relief kind of thing.
It gives me the vibe of when you get people who have got like a little bit of money but they're not rich,
Right.
and they feel the need to be like, look how rich I am. Look, I own this photo from the fucking Emoji Movie, and it cost me like $10,000, but I'm the only one who's got it. So, but if I watch the film and just screenshot, I own that as well. Yeah, but it's not got the code in it that means that it's actually the real one. But it's the same. No, it's the code. It's fucking. Let's be real. Let's just pause for a bit. It's exactly the fucking same.
Right.
Like,
I suppose it's comparable to, because I was having this conversation with my brother and he sort of knows a little bit more about this than I do. And I suppose you can kind of compare it to, say, an original Monet painting and then a print. The real one is on the actual original canvas. It's the original paints. It's actually him that's done it. And then the print is just a screenshot of it, if you will, a physical copy.
I think the issue is the digital element of it, because it's like, if you own...
Is it?
Here's the thing. Like, if you own the original film frame, like the one that they filmed on the day,
yes,
but you own that of some fucking film scene, then it's like, shit, fair enough. This is the one that captured that fucking image originally. On that day, the people holding that film were the people who shot the fucking film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those snip lines on it, on the edge, is from the very editors who cut it.
Yes,
Like,
but that isn't how film is now.
yeah. But this is the thing.
Isn't it? Because this podcast, if we NFT'd this image here, look, pose, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just me. If we NFT'd that, we've got the copy of that, the original. Yeah. Someone can put it on YouTube. We put it on YouTube, fuck's sake. Yeah. Someone can screenshot that and have that as their copy. But I've got the original on that. I haven't got film or a canvas or anything. Do you see what I'm saying? So is the future...
Like, I think because of the digital element of it, it's like, where is the actual value of it?
In the code, mate. The matrix code. That's the interesting part.
Who's going to look at a picture and go, yeah, I want to see the code for this picture, please?
Yeah.
I want to see all the X, Y, Z, zeros and ones.
Maybe not you and me, but someone that knows what they're doing.
Fucking...
Like, I don't know, but interesting though.
Someone who I think would not be very fun at parties. Is the person who would be like, "It's an NFT, can I see the real code, please?" Like, fuck off. Fucking get a life.
Oh, dear.
There's something better to do. Put your money somewhere else.
I'm this guy at the party. Speaking of parties, so you've got NFT guys and crypto bros in in the corner.
Oh no.
My guy's hanging on for dear life.
I mean, she's having fun. He looks like he's being...
He is...
He's doing the best impression of a Dementor.
He is pushing hell away from him. He's pushing hell away, isn't he? That's what he's doing. He's like...
I really want to hear... I want to see this, but like with some like metal song over it. So it's just like, you know when it goes like full screamo, it's like... I want to hear that like...
It's incredible,
playing
isn't
over
it?
that image of him just going... like looking like...
The best it is that these two moods are definitely like only ever 10 minutes apart. I guarantee he was up there a minute ago doing karaoke.
I love the fact this fucking SOS as well. It's like the perfect song for it to be.
Oh, I saw that and that killed me.
I've been at parties where I've been like that. I've been like, yes! And then 2 minutes later, I've been like, my head is in the toilet. Like, I've gone, like, it's shocking how fast that happens. You're absolutely right. There is literally not. I don't think like a 10-minute.
Do you know what it is as well?
I think less than 5.
It depends on it. So that can be from pre-drinks to getting the cab to the club.
Yeah.
Because you know pre-drinks is like you're all excited, and then when fresh air hits you and the Uber is going around corners like and you're doing all this.
Whoa! Fuck!
Yeah. You're literally like clinging onto the fucking like coat rack things for dear life.
And then there's that one mate who's just talking to the Uber driver like, hey, good Like, it's like
all that same shit.
It's like, you're not his friend.
Yeah.
You're our friend.
Exactly.
Because most Dib drivers don't want to be fucking hassled by drunk people. They're just like, I just want to drive you here and I want you to fucking leave and not throw up in my
and
glove
just give me a
compartment,
5-star.
please.
Give me a 5-star, bitch, and fuck off. This is something of a cultural. So this is you know, when I was educating you on TikTok, I feel that there's a real there's a lot of TikToks that are a little bit like a Renaissance painting.
Yeah.
So you know that one of like all the drunk people in the street that was taken a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like TikTok has sort of taken
like someone's
that
got
on.
their face on a fucking slice of pizza.
Right, exactly. They're pictures that should be hung in the Louvre. The Louvre. This is one of those videos that I would like to share with you with peace and love. It's one of my favourite videos.
We're studying pizza, funny enough. We're studying pizza, funny enough.
Does he remind you of anyone?
He reminds me of a
Wait. I bet we're both thinking the same person. Say it at the same time so we can bleep it.
It's the same.
3, 2, 1.
It was fucking immediate. As soon as I saw that fucking slick hair, I was like, I know exactly who he reminds me of. And it's like the dead eyes. With like the fucking shark eyes. It's the eyes that I've seen him look at girls with in the club.
Oh man,
weird and obsessive.
that's fucking killed me.
We're studying pizza, funny enough.
I love how you just hear his mate go, what the fuck? You know that's the guy who's like, he's just got his flat.
Yeah.
This is like brand new, and he's like, you know, like the fucking landlord, bit tight, bit of a fucking hard ass, but you know, it's all good. And he's like, just like be respectful of the space. Yeah, no problem, mate, no problem. I studied picture, like
it gets better. Okay, it gets better. This. Okay,
like,
so that
oh
is
my
one
God, is there a
part.
fucking follow-up?
So that's one part of the puzzle. You're slightly out of frame. If you want to just jump back in, I might taking up a bit of your frame space. So there's another part to this. I think this is it here. This is what I mean. It's like a Renaissance painting. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So this is the whole thing, right? And just this is incredible. It just adds a whole new element to it.
Geography.
No way, geography.
Oh yeah.
I'm studying. Yeah, actually really good looking. We're studying pizza, funny enough. What the fuck?
Get the fuck out.
That's assault.
Get out now.
Get out.
It's so chaotic.
It's
There's just where do we start to dissect that?
I think it's like the guy who's like, oh, you're so pretty.
That's
Like
the best
guy
bit.
at the beginning, just because it's such a sudden cutaway. It's like the guy's just gone, yeah, funny time. Oh, he's made himself like a tit. Let's look at it. Oh, why's he done that? Like,
Well, my theory is that this guy, I think his name is Harry, has seen that his mate has taken a massive L and wants to bail him out.
so I think it could be that, or it could alternatively be that he fancies that girl, and now his mate has mugged him off.
Oh.
And he's like he's seen his mate, admittedly, die on his fucking ass. But he's seen his mate try and make a move on someone who he likes, and he's like, because he's had a drink, he's like pissed off. He's just like, immediately, he's like, how dare he? Death to the pepperoni.
It's
Like,
I've got to watch it again. I'm sorry.
I'm studying geography.
No way, geography.
Oh yeah.
I'm studying. Yeah, actually really good looking.
You're actually really good
We're
looking.
studying pizza, funny enough.
It's so fucking loud.
What the fuck?
Get the fuck out.
That's assault.
Get out now.
Get out.
And then the fire alarm. This geezer.
This dude's just like, ooh. It's fucking
Oh fucking hell.
What uni? Like, because I'm reading the hashtags. Freshers pizza.
Oh, this
fucking
screams.
uni.
This screams 70 UCAS points, doesn't it?
This is-
All
this is-
round.
This is just like fucking. This is someone who made a table in WoodTech. I'm atting one person who I'm very good mates with in particular.
Oh,
but
is he
you
gonna
know
like
who
that?
I'm fucking talking.
Oh god.
That is.
That's fucking
What?
sent me.
So-
I mean, I could
That
spend
is- that
hours
is-
just dissecting
That's
this.
fucking comedy gold.
Yeah.
It's
You're
the
actually
fact-
really good looking.
Oh, it's the fact he sort of does a bit of a move.
Yeah.
Oh, you're actually really good looking.
Let's have a watch that again.
She's definitely from where we're from as well.
Right.
She's
yes.
definitely
Yes.
she's either from where we're from or Kent.
Yes.
Like, listen to her voice.
Do you reckon is he here? Is that his phone that he's given her to type in an Instagram, and she's reluctantly done it, and he's gone like, "Oh, you're actually really good looking." Like,
I mean, she doesn't look terribly infused.
no, I wonder if that's his phone, guy in the red shirt.
I like trying to construct a narrative.
That's what I'm trying to work out.
I wish creative writing had been when I was
100%.
Like,
so I think this pizza man is one of our boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also dressed in the colours of like a
Domino's worker. Yeah.
Which is like,
they definitely got this Pepsi Max with the pizza.
Yeah,
because that's part of the meal deal.
That's product placement.
Maybe
this guy works for Domino's.
Well, he's also wearing the Pepsi colours here, and he's got if you look on the label, it's almost the label on the Pepsi is almost the same as his little lapel here.
Oh, it is.
This is a deep dive.
What does it all mean?
Mate, can you imagine if we get this geezer on the podcast? This is a shout out. If he's watching this or if anyone knows him, to contact.
Pizza man, come on the podcast.
We'll order a big pizza and we'll study
it,
pizza.
But please do not fucking throw it at the walls.
We'll study pizza and we will lob it at girls' walls. Not girls' walls, sorry.
Just at walls generally.
Just at walls in general. I don't know why I think. Then he's got a oh wait, hang on. I'm going way too fast with this.
Also, note the little tiny plastic like wine glass next to him. I like the idea that he's been drinking Coke out of it. Like.
Okay, and so how have we ended up here? Is my point. What's the geography? I'm trying to work out the geography of the room.
No. Wait.
Oh, that's the sink, isn't it?
That's the sink. Yeah.
Wait. So
that's the sink.
That's this. Is that? Oh, there's the door.
Oh, so it's one of those things where the kitchen sort of goes in like an L shape.
Okay. Okay, so we're looking. So they're standing there.
So there's also a sink behind our cameraman. We're putting it together.
Yeah, we're putting it together. Okay, detective TMR, detective agency. Okay, so the pizza has been yeeted into that corner there.
Yeah.
So how is he? So all these lads have got out before him. I suspect
assume that the pizza has smacked the window.
Yep, and left a mark. I bet he's gone to try and clean it up and been a bit of a lad, and she's having fucking none of it. So she's slapped him out of the fucking room and gone.
In the next bit.
Yeah.
You note that he's holding his tum-tum.
Right.
Holding his ribs. And underneath that there's like a wet patch.
Oh.
There's some sort of patch. So I think maybe someone's like, one of the girls, maybe a little bit tipsy, has gone, like that with a drink.
Yeah.
But has been a bit too close and has actually hit him with a plastic cup.
Yes. I think
he's gone, that's assault.
Our geezer's gone out and he's gone to try and clear it up. She's gone fuck off and like gone like that to get him out. And he's been.
Get out now!
Get out!
And then they've said.
Oh no, he's not got a wet patch. That's a shadow. That was a shadow.
Oh, okay. So she's just like whacked him to fucking get out.
I think she's just hit him in the arm.
They've all gone and they've set a fire alarm off.
Yeah. Whether or not that was them or the fact that
it's just perfect.
Do you wonder if it was maybe a thing where he set off like a burglar alarm by throwing the pizza at the window?
Well, it's uni accommodation, so they've all got sensors, haven't they? So she's probably held the door open to get them all to fuck off.
And it's been open too long, the alarm's gone off and they've made a joke of it.
And then this geezer's...
I mean, he's just hearing alarms and he's shit himself. It's the red and blue lights. He's bailed. He's out of there.
But mate,
he's gonna jack 5 cars after this.
Maybe it's all for...
This is all one long
story, yeah, the TMR extended universe. But is that not just the best video?
It is comedy gold.
It's incredible.
Also, is that not his Snapchat name?
That is the geezer holding the phone. It's this lad.
I see.
No, that's his Instagram. No, that's his that's a Twitter. That's a fucking bastards. That's a Snapchat. That's a Snapchat.
We'll get there eventually.
That one's the bastard TikTok handle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but isn't it just that video?
It's one of those things where it's like every single element of it, like the sort of novelty.
It's perfect.
Sunday glasses. The thwomp of the pizza hitting the fucking wall.
One more time.
The little. I think it's the contrast of how loud that is compared to how quiet the alarm is afterwards. It's like you've got this like thunk, and then you've just got.
Oh man. Oh, it's so brilliant. And then you got these two, the guy in a True Religion shirt there, beanie. I think you couldn't write this.
This isn't I don't think there's a more succinct summary of what being a fresher at uni is like.
This is definitely an after party at
like
3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, this is some stupid time, or it's like it's either that or like pre's. It's
No, this has got after, because it's got after party vibes, definitely. All the lights on, all just chatting, and then...
Yeah, there's not any music. I like to think that's what she was actually on her phone for initially, was to maybe...
Sort music.
Whack on a bit of Empire of the Sun, bit of Walking on a Dream. Because that's on every pre's I've ever been to for some reason. It's either,
Really?
Well, like a lot of them, not like ones with cunts.
Walking on a dream. Okay.
You know the one. But for some reason, that's always on like fucking playlists.
Oh my god.
It's one of those songs where I used to be like, well, I say used to be. I'm still a fucking pretentious, twatty music hipster. And I'm always like, oh yeah, well, no one's heard that song. And I go to like constantly, I'm like, why does everyone know this?
Only I'm allowed to know
Only
this.
I'm allowed to know this.
You bastard.
Fuck off. Like,
sense of ownership.
Genuine, yeah. I've got an NFT of
You've
that
got an
song. And if anyone else listens to it, I have to call like solicitors to go after them.
You enter the Matrix.
Yeah, I
to
go
get
for
the code.
Matrix code to show them that this is in fact the real Empire of the Sun.
Exactly.
Walking on a Dream.
Oh,
It's the original. I own the original.
Right, should we get into today's topic?
Yeah, let's talk topics.
Let's
so this
talk
is like a
topics. So
thing.
Adam, I'm going to hand the reins over to you because this is something. I have
the reins.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think you're ready for my horse.
I wasn't, but I don't think you're ready for mine actually. I found this as well. I was trying to move us on, but now you've said that, it gave me a little bit of an in.
I've actually given you a really perfect segue.
Yeah, you have actually. I found this at the weekend.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck am I looking at? What weird fetish is this?
Horseplay.
Oh, fuck off. That's not even smart.
She kind of got Binder though. She kind of legs still.
You know, at the top of the podcast, I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're not very laddie," and then you're like, "Oh, she's got bunda fam." Fucking, it's just like I have.
Kind of badders.
I'm so confused. It's like one of those visuals where it's like this kid is like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I think we all are looking at it.
Is
Look,
this like the next level of? Is this like a low key furry thing?
I think
Is this like someone who's like?
I think it's extreme horse BDSM and not kink shaming. We're not kink shaming. If this is you, you do you, boo.
You wanna fuck a horse? You fuck.
My
a horse,
main
you
question,
do what you like.
my main question isn't the antics of what this means or what this leads to or what this might be a walk of shame after a night out. Who knows? But
if that's your walk of shame after a night out,
That's-
what the?
yeah.
Fucking who are you with? Arthur Morgan. It's all right, boy. Easy, boy.
How do you get that suit on and off? Is my question.
Lady to help you. Fucking.
Do you know what? Do you know? Look, because that is skin tight. Like there's
I mean,
not
that's
leaving
gotta be
much.
Like a fucking, like a vacuum.
Yeah.
Like
There's got to be some.
that is tight like a tiger.
There's
one.
talcum
That
powder
is-
gone on. There's a
is
lot of talcum
some
powder.
serious talc going on.
And the mask is quite detailed as well. I'm very impressed by
Has
it.
it got are there glasses on the mask? Are there like little fucking Neo from the Matrix shades going on here?
I'm not.
Like the eyes look a little bit weird
Fucking
from what I'm looking at.
Read it as one of the most awkward like video players. I'm not seeing it. I don't really know, but
Also, like where is this?
I got no idea, mate.
It looks kind of.
It looks
London-y.
French.
I could see it being like somewhere in the middle of London. It could be French.
La.
Yeah.
Yeah.
li-
La. Yeah.
We've literally got red and fucking blue and white on that.
Oh,
Like, the only way this
on
could
the
be more
license plate. Was that? Oh, what was
it's
this
just
then?
on this this fucking van here.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
got to be
that's gotta
France,
be
isn't
French,
it? Oh, and
yeah.
these things, these big green box like advertising boards are very
Yeah.
French.
Yeah. that's-
Cool. We're on detective
we're
watch,
on
aren't
it
we?
today.
We're
We're
really
just
on it.
fucking- We're breaking it down.
I love it.
Like
I think that's France somewhere. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. It's even the fucking hooves. Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
That's
like
mad, isn't it? That's dedication.
what if this person needs to like use a phone?
Well, you're breaking character at that thing.
Yeah, that's
Horses
true.
can't. They.
Horses can't use phones.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
the title of the
my
podcast right
favourite
there.
Mythbuster episode. Horses can't use phones.
Absolutely. So yeah, I've slightly derailed you there, but we move on. Adam, what's the topic of today's conversation? 45 minutes into the podcast.
I think
what's
those
our-
one of the things we always want to do are like little themed episodes where we talk about a specific topic. And this one we're going to be talking about like shit that's happened at work, jobs we've had, that kind of thing. So we sort of visited this many moons ago, but since then I've had a plethora of weird fucking jobs.
Yeah.
So I imagine you probably have as well. Like, let's just get into it. What weird shit has happened with you at work? Tell me some stories. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
Well, should we go chronologically? So, what was your first job?
My first job, I worked in a fucking warehouse, and it was fine. It was okay.
This is back home.
This is back home.
What was the warehouse packaging? What was it?
Mechanical parts.
Oh, like
just
okay.
like bits of like tubing and shit.
Okay.
It was probably
How old are you with this?
I just finished school. It was like the summer of
primary school.
Not primary school, just sitting there like fucking like a chimney.
Well, I don't know, mate. I was
scrubbing.
fucking like just finished school. Like what for your 6 week holiday?
School,
okay, so
I had a bit of money when I went to college.
16?
So I was 15, 16.
Sick.
15, 16.
Cool.
Year of our Lord. But no, that was when I did that.
Coolio.
That was my first job.
How did you get that job? Was it a friend of your dad's?
Family connections.
Cool.
It makes it sound like I was like in the mob with like family connections and I joined the mob.
Yeah.
Like, there's not
laundering money through the warehouse.
So just underneath just like a layer of packaging, there was just like
bricks of coke.
NFTs.
Oh, yeah.
Just sending them away.
Exactly.
Like
horseplay outfits.
Yeah, just like horse masks and hooves.
Yeah.
And, you know, slices of pizza. You know, we were sending out all sorts of shit. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
But no, that was my first job, and it was fine. It's the most unremarkable job. Like, what was
you actually packaging?
I was picking and packing, baby. That's what it says on my CV.
Oh, okay.
Picking and packing.
Nice. Okay.
What was your first job?
My first job was in a restaurant, mate.
Who was the lucky lady? Different kind of job.
I didn't quite get that. Went over my head. Should we? Oh.
That kind of job.
Oh.
A sexual act.
Oh, okay.
That was fucking awkward. That was really awkward.
I didn't understand what that was.
What was your first job?
So my first job was in a restaurant. Yeah, waiting tables.
Jesus.
I was similar age to you. I think I was 15, 16. And it was a nice little spa resort. Because where I grew up, there was my town, and then it was just surrounded by lots of villages. And it was in one of these villages, and it was like one of those like people from London.
There's a cesspit you grew up in.
Absolutely, yeah, and actually quite nice like little areas.
Yeah, and then
with like
where all the
farms and
who wanted to escape.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's
a lot of retirees.
It's sort of like being the people who live outside of like Mordor in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
I mean, there's like the fucking volcano.
Yeah, if you will.
Like, we'll go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So yeah, it was nice, and like lots of people from London would come down. It's well known in the UK as like one of the nice spa and restaurants and bars and that kind of thing. Worked in the restaurant there, which was good fun. Worked there for about a year and a bit, just to get through, like you say, like A levels, give myself a bit of spending money. Nothing of note massively happened, apart from there's one story.
I sort of think I vaguely remember you telling me this at some point.
And it will live with me till the day I die. So bear in mind me, like 16 years old, just looking to impress. First job, like waiting tables. It's quite an intense job.
It is actually.
Like,
I fucking hate waiting tables. It's one of the.
Well, you're always on your feet.
Yeah.
It's one of those jobs that you're always, majority of the time, a lot of young people doing it for uni, through school, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you have to have a real love for it to go into it, I think.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And you also got to have a real fucking thick skin.
Right. But and so there's always quite a big turnover of staff because there's a lot of young people that are doing it for school, A-levels, or on their break from uni, and then they fuck back off to uni.
When I worked in a bar, it was like people were in and out
exactly.
month by month.
Yeah. So I was there with like other young, cool people, and I like that I didn't know, and I was just trying to like fit in, like like impress them, all that kind of thing. And I remember one time there was a table across, like, that was in my section. It was these two geezers from London, and they were geezers. They were, like, all dressed up nice, like, obviously aspiring and things like that, but they were, like, cheeky chappy kind of things. And they'd been absolutely fine the whole night.
Probably worked in recruitment.
You're fucking on one, you
I
are.
just fucking recruitment can do one, but carry on.
Okay, carrying on. They were fine, like, the whole night, a little bit raucous, like, they were sat, like, legs crossed.
Yeah.
And like arm back like that, swilling.
I'm imagining like low socks, like
yes, if any.
Yeah,
and like they called brogues.
I know the type.
Yeah, exactly that. Like
I've been drop kicked through Moss Bros. Like,
and then like a really nice watch.
Yeah.
I don't know my watches, but it was, and they had all. Do you know those people that like this might be a conspiracy theory in my head? I feel like people wear shirts one size too small, just so every time they do that kind of thing, the watch peeks out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I think that is genuine. Like
I think it might be a thing.
It's a thing that.
And I mean, you know what? Fill your
predetermined.
boots. People spend a lot of fucking money on watches, so fair play. Show it
I don't
off,
need a
bro.
watch. I can do this. Oh, look, there's the time.
Got it.
Not because phones are way cheaper than watches.
Apparently,
But,
fucking
like,
so, mate.
but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there are fucking clocks everywhere. I'll be fine.
So yeah, these geezers were all right. They were nice and stuff. And then they called me over, and like we had a few like chats and that kind of thing. They sort of knew that I was a bit like, just giggled whatever they said. I didn't really know what to say, that kind of thing.
Bit wet behind the ears.
Yeah, exactly
as
that.
they
That's
say.
the phrase. Yeah. And so they called me over, and I was like, "Oh, everything okay, gents? How can I help you?" And they were like, "Oh, could you give this note to the girl over there?" And I was like, this happens in films. This is like, what the fuck kind of thing is this? Bear in mind, I'm like 6 weeks into this job or something, so still kind of impressed. Like, and like, it's always that thing you're told of like, customers always right. Customers always right.
The biggest fucking lie you'll ever hear.
Right, 100%.
The customer thinks they're always
yes.
right. That is the actual mantra.
Absolutely.
What it should actually be.
So I've got that coursing through my head, right? I'm like, customers always right. All about service, that kind of thing. I was like, oh, I don't know, like, very attractive girl sat over there, and his other mate is like pining him on, going, oh no, we know her, it's fine, like, go on. And I'm like, oh, if you know her, oh yeah, that's fine.
That's probably fine.
Fucking moron. So I have this little note, and he's like, oh, don't read it though, go and give it to her. And I was like, okay,
It's a surprise.
Yeah. I was like, she'll get it. That's what it was like. Oh, yeah, she'll understand what I mean.
Ninja, you won't get it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but she
exactly.
will.
So I was like,
take it
oh,
the wrong way.
all right, fine. So I go over to this girl, and I'm like, oh, sorry, these two gents wanted me to give you this. She looks at me, she takes it, looks at the note, screws it up, and puts it next to her. And I'm like,
I don't think that was an inside joke.
that you're not friends, are you? So I walk off, and I'm like, can I do anything? Oh, luckily, they had like empty plates, so I was like, okay, fine. The husband walks over, sits down. She's obviously told him he doesn't look happy. And I think in my head I was like, immediately, like, that reaction, that was a fucking stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
The two chaps are giggling their fucking tits off. And I was just a bit like, all right, okay, that was silly. Chalk that down as whatever. Carry on with my evening. Then about 15, 20 minutes later, one of my managers comes over. Bloke called Michael. Was his name Michael? Yeah, I think it was Michael. Lovely guy, Polish man. Lovely beard. Anyway, he came over and he was like, oh, great, everything all right? And I was like, yeah, all good. Just that, you know, like, those two guys that have been a bit loud and raucous and all of that, like, they asked me to, like, pass a note over to the girl. Like, she didn't react to it well, but, like, so I told him, and he was like, oh, yeah. Mark did say something about that, yeah. Mark being my big boss man.
Big boss man.
Yeah.
Big boss Mark.
Big boss Mark, who the husband had complained to about it. And Michael had obviously come over and he told me, he was really nice about it. He was like, oh, obviously, like, I know, like, they probably picked you out as, like, one of the young, whatever, but next time it happens, as if it's going to fucking happen again. But he was like, oh, next time, just say, look, she's enjoying her evening with a partner, all of that. I was absolutely
it's
okay,
stuff
fine.
like that when you're in a job and you're just starting it, you don't even think about these kind of scenarios.
No,
So when they happen, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It just fucking froze you.
And I later found out a couple of weeks later that Mark was absolutely fucking seething. And the reason I didn't see him the rest of the night is because he didn't want to see me or talk to me.
That is a thing, actually. People who are in charge of
that was
bars
fun.
are so angry. They're
All
like
the fucking time.
angriest
He
people.
had, peace and love, Mark, if you're watching, if you're still out there. Don't know, not seen you in years. His fucking, he stunk like shit. His breath stunk. You know coffee, when it, like,
Yeah.
just turns into a shit smell?
Yeah. No, I know what
It
you mean.
smelled like
It
shit.
smells like a fucking forest fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like
Burning ash.
Smells like climate change. Like,
It was really unpleasant.
like on that, I remember when I was at school, there was like, it was, you know, when you're choosing your options, and you know what options
Right.
you're gonna do, but you still have to do like exams at the end of the year.
Yeah.
We were doing that, and one of them was wood tech, and I mean, fucking look at me, I'm not gonna do wood tech.
Wood tech?
Yeah, like, you know, design
Wood technology.
DT.
Yeah.
But it was basically just hit a thing with wood.
Yeah.
Like, that was it was a big wooden hammer, hit a bit of wood with it. That was basically wood tech at our school, because we had like no money.
I see.
My school was from the 1980s and it hadn't changed.
Mm.
All the equipment was basically the same.
Mm.
Old ancient Pritt sticks, older than me. But like, this fucking dude, like, we're doing this wood tech exam. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't want to fucking go on about MDF and CAD designs. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. And I'm sitting there, I'm basically like dragging my feet. I've written like one sentence for the 6 marker, and the wood tech teacher, he looked a bit like Thorin from fucking The Hobbit. You know, like the king of the Richard Armitage, like that guy.
Oh, okay.
So he's like this big, tall, like beardy dude. He's got like he looks like a wood tech teacher. He's always got an apron on, even when he's not in class.
Yes.
It's like, why are you still wearing your fucking apron?
Yeah.
You're outside.
Always fucking ready for action.
It's like, just put it on the door. Oh, I might need to hammer something. might need to sand something down with all these bits of sandpaper. Like he was a perfectly nice teacher, but he saw me do this, and he sort of hovers over like a fucking brachiosaurus because he was really tall. I'm sitting there, and he's like, "Do you know what you're doing?" And just this wave of just like,
was he hitting on you?
No, he was just like checking that I knew what the work was. I mean, I hope he wasn't hitting on me. There was a creepy teacher. That's a different day.
Oh,
but,
right.
As in primary school, it wasn't bad. No, what happened with this is he comes over and he's like, "Oh, do you know what you're doing?" And I'm like this fucking, you know, in SpongeBob, where's the episode where he's got really bad breath and like everyone's dying because of it?
Right.
It was like that. I was just like, like it was really strong. Like it catches in your throat and just goes, "I'm not fucking leaving." Like the smell just stays on your tongue. You're like, and it's like up your nose and you can't escape it. And you're trying to do that thing where you're like trying to close off your ability to smell.
Right.
And you're just trying to breathe and just like, I know what. Yeah, I've got it. And he's just like, yeah, it's. And he just keeps talking to me. I'm like, stop. Like it's all just coffee.
Oh,
like,
grim.
It's fucking noxious. It's just like, oh, please, pack it the fuck in.
Yeah.
Like, just got like coffee breath. Like, I don't get how I would be like, I just need chewing gum every time. Like, I'd be so conscious of it.
Well, and especially like, how can you work in a fucking restaurant with people that are trying to eat and drink and have a good time and
be like, here's my breath. It smells like a fucking
little bit.
reservoir. Like, enjoy this.
But yeah, no. Apart from that, it was a really good first job. Like, I met a lot of really cool people. No, I don't talk to any of them now. I don't know why I was going to go down that route. I'm with them on Facebook and stuff like that, so I see what they do. I'm with them. That's such a boomer.
That's like thoughts and prayers, isn't it? I'm with them on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm in their thoughts.
Have you seen the climate rally, Greta Thunberg? Yeah, I'm with them on Facebook.
With such a fucking boomer.
That is like the next thoughts and prayers.
Yeah,
I'm with them. I'm with them in the metaverse. Fucking,
yeah,
it's weird working in that sort of environment, right?
It is,
and it's always like
fucking hell.
Just fucking people are the problem. People are always a problem in any job like
that,
I think.
Well, I remember one geezer. Everyone's a fucking geezer apparently.
Everyone's a geezer.
I had to serve him. So, and bear in mind, like, this is like a 4.5 star like spa, and they expect that from the restaurant itself as well, which I completely get, because they, it's a pretty penny to go there and like package for a weekend. The restaurant wasn't up to par with the spa. Yeah. I'll say that much. So we disappointed a lot of people. Yeah. But this one guy had he ordered steak and chips.
Classic.
Classic. Ordered it like this, and like all fine. Like, went over to him. I checked on it. After like 10 minutes, go over and check. Everything all right? And he was like, yes, all fine. Took it away for when he finished his plate. Bear in mind, not a fucking scrap left on the plate. Everything gone.
So he scoffed it all.
Scoffed it all. Yeah. And I was like, oh, all good. Do you enjoy that, sir? And he was like, not really, mate. No.
I was like, the evidence suggests otherwise.
Yeah, I was
like,
like,
you fucking ate all of it.
Fucking what? Came in the next day. What's the fucker order? Steak and chips.
So like, it's just a thing. He just tries to get like refunds.
Maybe, but he didn't even kick up a fuss. I was just like, oh, how was it? And he was just like, wasn't that nice, to be honest? I was like, oh, sorry.
Piss poor.
I said, do you want me to do anything for you? And he was like, no.
Unless you can make me not eat fat again. Unless you can rewind time and make me do something better. Oh, fuck off.
But no, that interested me with him. But apart from that, it was a good job. I enjoyed it. a lot. What was so then you've gone to college, and then did you work? How long were you in the factory for?
How long was I in the
warehouse?
Factory? How long was I in the I would argue that mentally I still am in the factory.
Oh, really? Yeah, you never left.
I never left.
Yeah.
I'm just a ghost. But no, I was there for a little bit, not overly long. Most of the jobs I'd done I wasn't there for ages. Not because I'm a raging alcoholic. No, it's just because generally most of the jobs I was doing is because it was always in periods where things were like changing. So like school to college.
Oh,
and I went to college in a different town, so I couldn't rework there.
Yeah.
And then when I was in college, like it was like long commutes. I didn't have a car, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So there was lots of reasons why there wasn't like work was a bit on off.
Mm.
I was working there for a bit, and then as I sort of went up to uni, then I started getting more work. I worked in a Weatherspoons.
Classic.
Oh me, that was. Sorry.
It's all right. Carry on.
Pardon me. I've been to Weatherspoons apparently today.
Was that the demon inside you reaching out to?
Just, you can smell there's NFTs. Fucking. But no, speaking of demons inside me, that was actually one of the jobs that I sort of went towards after Weatherspoons, is that I worked as a scare actor.
Oh,
Yes.
we're jumping quite a bit ahead now.
Because I think that
It's relevant.
it's a relevant job.
Because you are an actor,
I am
and
an
you want
actor.
to be an
I'm
actor
an
full
actor.
time.
Yes.
So that was your first sort of paid acting gig?
So it's not
long term
not
thing.
really an acting gig, but the kind of work that performers do.
Right, because
Like,
anything before that would be productions.
yeah, it was
that you
stuff
weren't paid
like
for, but
that.
you did
wasn't
to-
being paid for, that
Right.
kind of thing, just sort of indie stuff.
So this was your first sort of
But it was the
paid
first time I was
performing role,
performing and getting money.
apart
for
from
it.
that time in Amsterdam.
Yeah, that was one time.
Yeah,
and
that we're not allowed to talk about.
Still can't get the marks off of my trousers from that day. But
Great weekend though, paid for everything.
yeah, it was funded.
Put on expenses,
Jobs
Mr. Brown
in more
said.
way than one. But no,
This podcast's a fucking shit show.
I know,
Carry
so
on.
I've been manic, innit? But no, I started working as a scare actor, and I worked
Where?
at.
Do
Fort
you want to say
Park.
where? Oh,
I
yeah,
worked at
Fort
Fort
Park.
Park.
What does a scare? What's a scare actor? What does that mean?
So basically, with Fort Park, they do Fright Nights. They do it every year. The idea is that they have sort of themed attractions where there are actors who jump out and fucking shout at you, throw things at you, and you know, stuff like that.
Yep.
There's all different ones. There's one in London Bridge. Merlin Entertainment's are the company. They own loads of them. So it's like London Dungeons
Cool.
and things like that. They do it at Chessington and things like that. They have the Fright Night brand,
Okay.
where essentially they have scare mazes and they have like scare roaming. So scare mazes is just like set positions. People will scare you from here, 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 and here.
Yes.
It's all very systematic. Whereas roaming is a bit more open. You're interacting directly with the public in just designated open areas where you can do kind of what you want.
Sweet.
Within reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, I worked there for 2 years, and it's a really weird job. It's really weird. There's not really another job like it, and I think
In what way?
in the sense that it's quite a hostile job because people suck,
Right.
but you get to work with nice people.
So hostile from the
From-
punters.
Yeah, the
Okay.
punchers is what I like to
Oh.
call them, because they're very aggressive.
I don't get that with people.
Nor do I.
Why
Nor
go
do
into
I.
a fucking scare maze
I think
where you
sometimes-
know you're going to get scared and then lash? If you're prone to lashing out,
But this is, I think, an emblematic problem with
of what problem?
emblematic.
Oh.
My tongue got
Emblematic.
It's a problem that I think that Fort Park suffers with.
Oh.
Because I remember a little while ago, I rewatched the classic In-Betweeners episode where they go to Fort Park. And that was made in around 2008. Probably filmed in about 2007. It is no fucking different, apart from that they've got Angry Birds in there now.
Is it?
You know how relevant and trendy and hip Angry Birds is?
Yeah, mate. I can't believe that that's still there. I went recently, and
bizarre. Like,
how the fuck is that still?
The problem is that Disney owns everything else, and the company that sort of owns Merlin, they don't like
Disney.
They don't own as much, and they're like, oh, what brands do we have? What NFTs
is
have
it?
we got? No, like what brands?
Where's
have
our
we
sense
got?
of ownership?
Yeah, where's our sense of ownership? What do we have ownership of?
Angry Birds.
Fucking Angry Birds. Like
So we're
it's
gonna
like
peddle that.
it's going to Fort Park is like time traveling, like about 5 years back at any given point, because it's like Angry Birds isn't fucking relevant.
Yeah.
But there's this huge area dedicated to fucking Angry Birds.
Huge.
It's like massive.
Huge area.
And like the whole thing, it's like, oh, this feels like I've gone back in time. It's really strange. Fort Park is this bizarre sort of weird sort of Middle Earth in Staines, where it's just very bizarre. Like you've got people who are like like Fort Park has got like a really small but massively dedicated fan base.
Really?
Yeah, there's like fucking nutters who love Fort Park. Like they go every week, and they're like looked upon as sort of like being like mini celebrities within the park because
Really?
they like come and film people, and Like, you'll get guests asking if these particular guests are going to be
Sounds
there.
like a fucking cult, mate.
It is like a cult. It's fucking weird. Like, there was a guy, I won't name names, but it's fucking tragic.
Let's not,
This
please.
guy made, like, rap covers about Fort Park. I'm
fucking joking.
I'm not even kidding you. You can find them on YouTube. They are...
Can we listen to it? Has he got his face? Should
I
we? I
think
don't know if we should.
I imagine we can just blur out the video
Okay.
and maybe like mute it and then just show
Are
our
people
reaction.
gonna maybe?
People
no.
I know will know.
Okay, we won't. We
Okay.
won't. We'll
But yeah,
protect
this
it
guy,
after the
he
podcast.
would like make raps about
And
like,
good.
fuck.
Like, is he a rapper? No, he just wanted to make.
crap. But like
Jesus Christ.
this guy did that. He's probably gonna fucking try and hunt me down now. Like they're all so obsessed. But like you get this like real weird contingent of people who are massively obsessed with Fort Park, and it's like really really bizarre. This fucking guy like made rap music about like Fort Park and
That's
the
incredible.
attractions on it. Like it's like spinning my head like Colossus.
Oh.
Burning me like Inferno in the
Oh,
ops booth, pushing buttons. It's
Oh,
like
man.
fucking tragic.
That's jokes.
Like, I think the Fort Park is weird because it is like a weird little time capsule where it has not changed
Yeah.
in forever.
I'm not a fan of roller coasters.
I hate them.
So I'm not.
I hate roller coasters
Yeah.
so fucking much. They're like my least favourite thing. So when I got the job there, I was like, I don't know if this is right for me. And they were like, oh, it's your break, everybody, on the first training day. Go on the rides. And then me and this one other person were like, you like rides? No, I don't.
Yeah,
Me
we'll
and
stick with
this
you.
little Scottish girl called Claire were just like, fuck that. And we just walked around the park. I'm like, right, where do you reckon we're going to be? You reckon we'll be there? Oh, you might be here and we'll be there. And we were just sort of getting used to where the park was.
Yeah.
And how it was oriented.
Set up.
So we did that. We used it as research time.
So what? So you alluded to punchers rather than punters.
Yes.
What? I feel like there's a story.
Scare actors get treated like fucking shit.
Really?
And
By management, or
a little bit,
okay,
but it's more
by the
predominantly
audience.
by guests. And normally if there's like it happens a lot that actors get sort of hit by people. Sometimes it's because they're drunk. Sometimes, people I think they go seeking trouble.
Right.
They go in because they want to fucking...
And in their head, I suppose you can get away with it because, he made me jump.
Yeah,
so I reacted.
You jumped out at me and it was just a reflex.
Right, yeah.
And like I was lucky because I never actually got hit.
Mm.
But I knew people got hit. I knew someone who got punched in the face and their contact lens got like knocked out. Like, and this girl is like, is
Oh, fucking bastards.
About this big, maybe like 5'1".
That was off camera.
5'1", 5'2".
5'1".
Like she's not tall. Bless her. She's quite little, and she got fucking thumped in the face by somebody. Like this is the sort of level of shit you get. It seems to be not when I was there so much, but in recent times since, like sexual misconduct towards the actors getting groped by guests has become like an increasingly common thing.
Fucking hell, man.
It used to be. I think COVID actually made people worse with this. Is that I think the lockdowns made people more like, I'm just frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go nuts when I'm
really
like the level of like I've heard horror stories.
Right.
Type thing, Fright Night.
Right.
Of what people have said to me about what had happened this year in terms of like the way guests were treating people. It seems to be way more hostile.
Jesus.
But
fucking grim.
There used to be like good security to sort of protect the actors a little bit to make sure that they're looked after, and if there's someone causing trouble, you can get them removed.
Right.
I've been in situations like that where I've been able to get someone who's being a prick kicked off of park.
Yeah.
But after last year, security just ain't it.
Really?
It's not good enough. And the thing is, basically, there's this typical thing that happens on Saturdays and Sundays. There is this expectation that certain people come into the park who they come in every weekend, sort of a bit of a community. They come in and they're more aggressive and they are more violent, and everyone knows that they come.
There's a solution to that.
Yeah.
If you know who they are.
And there used to be a bit of a restriction of the actors would know about it, and there was a bit of a preparation. You'd go, right, well, there isn't going to be that many. They're very obvious. You can always spot these kind of people.
But why does no one, why are they getting let in?
And they used to be, and what they used to do is they used to be police on park. So,
right.
And it used to be a thing where they would do a sort of a circuit. So one weekend they would go to Thorpe,
Yeah.
and then they would go to Chesington, and then they would go to Alton Towers, and then they would
Okay.
go elsewhere, and it would go around in a bit of a rotation. And you'd get a weekend and think it's going to be quite bad, and then it wouldn't be, and it would be fine. But last year it actually made the news. It was it was on BBC News. There was articles about it. I was in the attraction that made the story. Where, because there was COVID restrictions, there wasn't going to be that many people on park.
Right.
It is the busiest I've ever seen Thorpe Park.
Fucking hell.
In the midst of COVID. Me and a few people, I've sort of dubbed it as Bloody Sunday, because it was ridiculous. It was all just like fake tan and giant hills, and you just like, as soon as you started seeing these people, you're like, oh, it's going to be one of those fucking days. I knew people who were in an attraction where they had to hide in a bus because there was a fight happening outside, like a massive, like, huge fucking brawl was kicking off just in front of them. In our attraction, basically what happened is, because the news article is, an actor got hit at Thorpe Park. There was loads and loads of people. There were fucking hundreds of thousands of people there this day. It was ridiculous. The amount of people there was just like obscene. Yeah. And considering it's COVID, it's meant to be like a limited.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is this? It's like a fucking hordes of people. How are they even getting in? Like,
fucking hell, man.
And this actor was getting intimidated. Kids were like going round him, and these people were like sort of hovering around. He was in a costume that was sort of like a mummy costume. It had very small eye holes like this. I can barely see.
Horrible.
It's quite a claustrophobic
suit
to be
sounds
in.
it.
And people are going round him and harassing him. And as a scare actor, your job is to harass.
Yeah.
Your job is to get into people's faces and sort of
shit them up a bit.
Shit them up a little bit, make them nervous.
Yeah. But as an audience member, you go into it expecting that kind of.
And I think for most people, you can generally sort of spot when someone's not the person to go for.
Right.
Which is why that day I was basically sitting in a fucking fake coconut shy, just avoiding talking to anyone. Me and this one dude who's on the fucking West End were just like, not worth it today. And he was like, nah, let's just chill out over here. I was like, that fucking suits me.
Fair.
And then suddenly we're sitting there doing this, and when we just hear this fucking commotion, and our show captain, really nice guy called Chris, comes out with his microphone and goes, everyone off, back round the stage, we're leaving, like this. Pulls us all out, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? He goes, one of our actors just got fucking punched, one of our other guys went in and pushed the dude over. Like, it all kicked off in this area. And basically what it was is that the guy who got punched, he was getting intimidated, and he sort of threw a punch, just being like, fuck off, get away, which caused it to kick off. They went after him. He ended up getting fired. The actor got fired for it. And the other actor who was involved, who pushed the guys away, who was applauded for doing it initially, got into further trouble afterwards. Yeah, there was a bit of a thing of like
disciplinary.
We won't let him be as out as often because of it.
Oh, okay, I'm with you.
It's like bizarre stuff like that. He was a designated character, and he almost did it like never after that. Really weird stuff. But it made the news, and people knew that this sort of stuff happened on Sundays, to expect that there would be elevation in the sense of like trouble on park. And nothing was done about it. And this is the thing that I think put me off, is that the actors are what keep those parks going. Fright Nights is a big deal. The actors are what do it. And, they're very well trained. We are trained well when we do that job, particularly by the team at Thorpe. And I'm not going to completely fucking shit on them, because like they do a good job with the attractions that they do. They do actually train you up well, and you learn things, and it is a fun job. But the actors are what keep you open. The actors who come in and sit there in the dark, fucking jumping at people, sticky, sweaty, covered in fake blood, getting harassed by people, getting fucking hit by people. And then the level of protection you get afterwards is, well, we know it was a tough day. We'll take all together, everybody, one big sigh.
Oh, fuck off.
And we'll just get on with it, won't we? And it was like that afterwards. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, 2 of our actors had fucking panic attacks because of it.
Yeah.
People got, and like there was no follow up, and there was like no security, and the security who were there, bless them, they couldn't do fuck all because they was outnumbered. Right. Like the kind of people who were there, they just are out for fights. They're just looking for an opportunity to fucking scrap people and steal shit. Yeah. And like, I'm trying to sort of allude to who they are without sort of naming anything, but like security just were not up to snuff. There wasn't enough of them. Right. Like, even if the police had been there, it wouldn't have been enough. But I remember the weekend before being like, there's lots of police on Park this weekend. That's good. There's like nothing happening. And the next weekend they were all gone. And then like this fucking army of darkness came in and we all just got fucked.
Jesus.
But here's the thing, and this is my sort of PSA to people who are going to scare attractions. Be fucking nice to the actors. You know, it's just a job. It's a bit of fun. Most of the people in there are like between 18 and 22 in most cases. Most of the people in there are fucking young. They're like the same age as the people coming in. They're there for a good time. They're there to have fun. They're there to make you laugh, make your mate fall over, and it to be funny.
Right.
That is the point of what they're there for. It's to make your mates a bit embarrassed and to have a bit of a laugh. That should be the thing. Fucking scare actors shouldn't be going into places worried that they're going to get their fucking teeth knocked out.
No.
Or that they're going to get fucking concussion, or they're going to get beaten up, or they're going to get fucking death threats, which happened this year. Someone was like, did a scare in a TikTok, and then they got fucking death threats from people to the point that they actually took this kind of character off Park because they were like, it's too fucking dangerous.
Fuck. What the fuck is that about?
It's fucking Fort Park, not District 9. Like,
what the fuck?
It's not like you're going into fucking... Like, I don't even know, like fucking Belfast in the 70s. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
There is so little support offered to the performers. And there's just that, you know, we really look after the performers. Fuck off. No, you don't. You don't look after the performers. They get treated like shit constantly.
Yeah.
And management are constant. Like, management are generally, they were pretty solid when I was there, but I've heard one or two things since that it isn't the same anymore.
Right.
And that management are much more, a bit more lax towards how the actors are treated, and they're a little bit more like, oh well, about things. And it's like, no, look, what it needs, if you're a scare actor, you need security in the park. There needs to be constant security. There needs to be an effort to make sure that those kind of people aren't fucking let in. People who are going to come in and instigate fights and be fucking violent. Yeah. And there should also be, the performers should also be given training to spot people who are going to be a fucking problem, so they can know to remove themselves. Because I was always quite good at that. I could spot someone and go, you're going to be a fucking problem.
Right.
And I go, I'm going to hide in this bush. You know, like the Homer Simpson gif where he just fucking disappears? That was me in Blair Witch. Right. I would just fucking disappear in the bushes. But there were people who would go there and they were just fucking looking for trouble. And it was knowing about how you can manage it. In certain places you could, but it's not always that easy to fucking manage people. And it shouldn't be your job. You should be, as a manager or as someone like that, you should be looking after the actors, and you shouldn't then be getting in trouble for looking after your staff, which seemed to be, oh well, you had to close down the attraction. That means that for an hour people weren't visiting it. It's like, fuck off. Like, an actor got fucking thumped in the face,
yeah, exactly.
and then you fired him afterwards, you dicks. Like,
fuck's sake, man. That
sort of status quo of the way it worked really put me off of that job. And like, it's no discredit to the, I'm sure it's more of like it's not even the management of the park, it's the people above
hierarchy
that
thing, isn't it?
Because I remember there was someone who was in there last year who came in during like COVID. I think they were sort of there to monitor the situation. I think they'd been sent from
head
office.
Okay.
And they had worked in this park before, because one of the things in Merlin is they like to sort of take someone, you know, you worked in rides and then you did scare acting. Now you're going to be a team leader and you're going to manage.
Right.
And it does encourage that kind of progression.
Yeah.
If you're matey with management, you have to be properly pally with them to get there. But that's a whole other fucking kettle of fish. But this person was sent down, and they were just like, you can tell they just hated the actors. They were just like, oof. Like, people were just in their green room on their breaks talking, and she'd be like, can you be quiet, please? I'm trying to do work. And it's like, you're working in a fucking theme park. You're in the costume cupboard right now. Like, what do you fucking expect?
Yeah.
Like, what are you expecting?
What are you working on that requires silence?
And then there was a point where this person then came through our attraction with a camcorder. They were like sort of filming it, and it was fucking dead because our attraction was always dead. No one ever went there. It was crap. Like, no one wanted to be there. Like, it was good fun, and we had a laugh, and we were able, through the fact that our show captain was kind of aware of it.
Yeah.
He was like, just fuck about, have fun, just tit around. And I was like, yes, I will. Like, there's footage of me basically playing, like, making people play chess, doing like a Shrek voice. It was weird. Like, I did loads of wacky shit. I did that. I pretended we did this like seance things. We had mics.
Okay.
So I would hide around the back of the stage and just do random voices.
Mm.
So I pretended to be like Gordon Ramsay and pretended that they were trying to get through to hell, but they got through to Hell's Kitchen.
Oh,
And
for
to me go,
fuck's
it's
sake.
fucking raw! Look at the state of that! What are you doing? Like doing this shit. And it was stupid. We were doing
Fuck's
stuff
sake.
like that. We did one that they got through to like a ghost hunter and then got killed by a ghost. It was like
Right.
fucking stupid. It was like really fun on
Yeah.
those days. It's because there were no guests.
Yeah,
which is
you
why
weren't
it
having
was
to deal
fun.
with.
There was no guests around, so it was funny. You could get away
okay.
with stuff. But this fucking middle management motherfucker came in with a camcorder, and someone like backed into them. Like, just some guests, they got, like, fucking spooked by one of the actors, and they sort of ran, like, you know, they go, oh, fuck, like, running like that, and they barged into this person by mistake.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my god, can you watch where you're going? Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking... Oh, it's like...
Chill.
Alright,
Yeah.
Will Mackenzie, fucking... Your outburst of fucking nerd rage.
Yeah.
It's like fucking exploded, and everyone was just like... What the like, everyone else in the attraction was like...
The fuck was that about?
That happens to us every 2 minutes.
Oh,
Like,
really?
someone will run into us.
Oh,
Like,
right. I know. Oh,
you
yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
yeah.
there'll be every 2 minutes someone will fucking barge into you, and you just
Right.
go, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's to be expected. It's a crowded area. It's gonna happen.
Right.
But they're like, for goodness sake, oh my god! Like, it's like, fuck off. Get that stick out of your ass and leave. You're working in Fort Park in fucking Staines. What did you expect? People aren't polite here. Move away. Like, it's ridiculous. But like, scare acting is a fun job. And
Right.
if you're in an attraction and you're in a place that is safe and treats you properly,
Yeah, you'll enjoy
it's one
it.
of the best jobs you'll ever have. And
Right.
it's worth doing if you're a young actor,
Mhm.
young performer, and you haven't got to worry too much about, like, you know, trying to get too much money or whatever.
Yes.
It's a really good job to do because I think it gives you a thick skin.
Okay.
And it makes you tough to sort of, not to criticism, but to just sort of the sort of shit you get that gets thrown at you. Because even if, like, I never got hit, but you got shit thrown at you, people would mouth off at you and say shit to you, say shit to your mates. I remember I scared somebody and they sort of went, "Ugh," like that, and a finger ended up in my mouth. And we just sort of looked at each other for a couple of seconds, me and this great big fucking dude, and we were just like,
Oh.
and he was like, "You right?" I was like, "Yeah, just keep going."
Oh, that's
But
grim.
You
Someone's
got things
fucking
like that.
finger.
I remember the worst ones for it were like little fucking like ratty white kids who
Right.
were acting like they're from the fucking ends.
Mm.
Because you could always tell they weren't.
Right.
Because they were, you know, there's people like they dress like, you know, they've got fuckloads of money, but they're wearing
Okay.
like a tracksuit. But the tracksuit's like expensive.
Yeah, I got you.
And there was like this group of kids, they must be about 13, 14. And I used to do this thing where I would do, you know, when in It, Pennywise runs out of the fucking water like going like this.
Yeah, yeah.
I would do that and go like that and just fucking bolt at people and it used to shit them up.
Yeah,
and I used to do my makeup a bit like it. Like I
Right.
wasn't meant to be a clown, but I did like blood would sort of streak down. I'd smile as it. I'd do that as it came down, so it would dry like that.
Okay.
And I would do that and I'd just fucking bolt at people. I'm not small, I'm about 6'1"-ish. So I'd fucking run in
That's jokes.
and I'd freak out, and this one kid was like, pussy, I'll fight you, I'll fight you. And he's like, he is whiter than snow. And he's saying, oh, pussy, I'll fight you, man. I'll do you, bro. Like, doing all this shit.
Yeah.
Not knowing that my manager is around the corner, he's a big fucking tall dude. And he just comes around and he goes, you fucking apologise to my actor right now. He's like, how dare, and the guy's like, oh, sorry, bro, sorry. And he's like, putting his hand, I went, I don't want your fucking handshake, go on. I went, fucking move on. And all of his mates were like really embarrassed afterwards.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, fuck off, you prick. Like, and there was various times that, like, within my third week up there, no, second week I'd ever done this, some kid like that, he was in his little fucking camo JD Sports fucking tracksuit. And he's like, pussy, your man fight you. And I'm like hiding in a bush. And I just went, oh, fuck off, like that. And he just went, and like, he realised that I dropped character. And I like stepped out and went, fuck off, like that. And he legged it. But it's the moment you realise that, you know, it's not really an acting job.
Okay.
You're not really acting when you're doing scare acting. Even if you're doing like a show, you're not really like, you're not really acting. It's just to keep you fucking oiled up. That's why you do it. It's to keep you
Looped up.
prime.
Yeah.
It keeps you ready for business. It's like, it's just there to keep you ready to then perform again. It's good for the physical element of it. It's a very physical job. You get a lot of cuts and bruises and things like that. but it makes you fit because you're constantly running around,
Mm.
and it's good for that. It builds up your endurance, and it builds up your personal endurance, I think, as just dealing with shit thrown at you.
Yeah.
And it's good for that. And if you're in a good place like that, like if you're looked after, like in the first year I was at Thorpe, I can't actually fault it. We were actually really well looked after. There wasn't often a lot of trouble. There was the odd incident,
But there's always
it was the odd incident. It wasn't
exactly.
every day.
Yeah.
Like the amount of people I know who were working up there, so you're being like, every day I cried, every day I was crying, and every day I was worried about this. Every day I was desperate to get home. It's like, it's not meant to be like that. It's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
And it also got fucking slated this year. Like, review-wise, it got fucking panned.
Oh, really?
And it's like, well, why do you think that is? Because the actors are what keep your fucking machine going. And if you let them just get mangled up by guests and let them get treated like shit, then fucking what do you expect?
Yeah,
like,
they're not coming back next year either.
Your show's going to fall apart. And that's the thing as well. There used to be a thing of people would go year after year. Like, I knew people who'd been there 4 years, 5 years in a row, just going back and back and back. And now there's like people who I've known who have been going there for years go, nah, it's my last year, I'm not doing it again.
Wow.
And it's like, shit me. Like, it's so bad. Like, it's such a fucking shame. Like, working in Ents can be really fun and it's worth doing when you're young. But going beyond like 18, 19, worth doing a year, maybe 2, just to get a bit of a feel for it. So maybe you end up in a slightly different attraction. Beyond that, though,
don't bother.
Don't bother. Unless if there is some great big fucking change and it becomes great again, but I don't think it will with the state that it's in. And I think it's ultimately, it would be fine if it weren't for the guests, in the sense that the guests know they can get away with it. There's not any repercussions with stuff. The guests always get away with the crap that they do, and they treat people like shit. And sometimes the things that happen with the guests is actually quite funny. Like, I remember hiding in a tree at someone, and they came through. And I scared him. He went, I'm going left because you didn't treat me right. And he was actually going to go left. That's where the maze goes. So he obviously saw what way he was going, said that. And I broke character because it was really funny. I wasn't ready for it. Because he went, oh! And he went, oh, I'm going left. You didn't treat me right. And I was like... Because it was so fucking unexpected.
Yeah, that's quick
thinking.
thinking.
There and, like, in character, I was like getting into it a little bit. I was like hiding in this tree, like doing all this shit at people.
Right.
And it just fucking did me. I was like, oh, I'm done. That's fucking ruined it in the best way possible. I was like, I think I literally went, you cheeky fucker, like that. And he was like, like this at me. Yeah. And I was like, that was actually fine. That is quite funny.
That's jokes.
And you meet a lot of interesting people. And it's good for that. And you make good friends. And it's the sort of family bond you get with your cast is great, but not really that worth it if you're getting punched, kicked, getting fucking death threats. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's fucked.
Because I remember this year at the start, I was like, oh, maybe I should go for it again. Because like my contract in my old job was coming up to expiration. I was like, oh, maybe I should just go for it and it'd be fun. I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so fucking glad I didn't. And it's no discredit to anyone who's working up there. Because I know you guys put in a lot of work, but like, mate, sort your security out. Like, you're a big company, just get like, fucking form a security department. Just be like, oh yeah, here's Merlin's internal security, and they do it rather than getting shitty contract guys in. Like, get proper security. It's not fucking difficult. Like, you got a lot of money, just fucking do it.
It's true. You good? Got it out your system?
Yeah, it's just because like scare actors get a bad fucking time and no one sticks up for them. And I thought I'd do my little bit as an ex scare actor.
Yeah,
it's like I want to defend the people who have had a shitty time with it.
Fair, that's fair.
It needs to be said.
I like it, mate. That's good. I suppose people don't talk about it because you wouldn't.
It's such a niche thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Niche. There's no real union or anything for it.
No, it's not, and because it's not like a proper acting job, there's no equity for it. So if there's like incidences, it doesn't get covered in the same way that like if there was a problem on set or whatever.
Yes,
it's not like that. If there was like a danger on set or something, like what we spoke about in our last episode, check that one out if you will. But it's that kind of thing where it doesn't come under like acting equity. It doesn't count as a credit, that sort of thing. Which is why I'd also suggest if you're an actor, not really worth doing.
Okay.
Like if you're looking to get roles, performances, it's not worth it. Like just get another job, work in a fucking bar like you did, or just do a job that is flexible, or just work and then know that you can do stuff in the evenings. Do something like that.
Fair.
That's the better way of doing things. Like it's worth doing once or twice if you enjoy it and it's worth it as a bit of a character building thing.
Nice.
But beyond that,
Fair. And I think while you were doing all of that, I was working in a bar.
you were, weren't you?
Yeah,
you were
well,
working in,
I was working at it's maybe the year before. So my first year at uni, I was having a bloody good time, if I do say so. We went out Wednesdays, we went out Fridays, occasionally on Saturdays. Lovely times. But it got to a point where I was like, this is a lot of money, and I don't have a lot of money, so we're going to have to do something about that. So I went for a few jobs. Obviously, at this point, the only thing I know is waiting tables. I worked in a place called Polpo, Ape and Bird, which was in Piccadilly Circus, opposite the Harry Potter thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fucking far.
Fucking trek,
That's
From where I
really
went to
long,
university,
Jesus.
yeah, grim. I was doing 12-hour shifts on a Saturday, 6-hour shifts on a Sunday. I did it.
They're so exploitative, aren't they?
Fucking
when you start
earning,
and they know you're a student.
earning
they
fuck
do you in.
all, yeah, for real. And yeah, fucking trek. I think it took me like an hour to travel there. I don't think like an hour to get back.
Jeez.
So fucking disgusting. So I only did that for like a month, and then I said to my boss, I was like, look, I enjoy working here and like all of that kind of stuff. It's nice, but I fucking can't do it, man. Like I was spending like on Oyster and stuff what I would get in an hour. So it's like a whole hour's pay.
That's when I'm like,
do you know what I mean?
this job's not really worth it.
Yeah,
Like,
so you have to weigh that up.
Bunking an hour's worth of pay.
And then so I was like, right, okay, fucking hell, brilliant. Okay, got to look for another job now. Excellent stuff. And I went on to, I don't know if you were familiar with this app called Job Today. Jobs Today. I fucking hope not. This is part of my problem. It's a fucking bastard of an app. Exploitative fucking bastards on there.
Yeah.
All of
Real
it.
Fuckers.
All of it
Real
is waiter jobs, waitress jobs. And they know that, because I was recommended
It's
it
like
by...
people start and then they leave like immediately. They go,
Yeah.
fuck this.
Well, because they know the turnover, and it's like, why would they're thinking young people? They're all on apps. They're not going to go to a website and like apply, or no one goes in and hands a CV anymore. So an app is like easy. I was recommended it by a uni friend, so it's just that chain of like passing it down. And I wanted bar work. I was done with waiting tables. I was like, no, I want to try something different. Like I've been around bars.
Yeah,
all
I'd
that kind of
rather
thing.
work in a bar than waiting tables.
Or like behind
I
a bar.
Hate waiting
It was
tables.
the running around and all that kind of thing. So anyway, I see a bar opening going at All Bar One. Quite fancy place.
Yeah, All Bar One's quite well known.
Nice, yeah, in Clapham. So
Okay,
much more
yeah.
doable as well, transport-wise.
Yeah, so anyone can get fucking anywhere.
Exactly.
Clapham.
Yeah.
It's so
well connected, exactly. So I go for and I think this app Job Today. I'm gonna fucking say the name because fuck it, bastards on Job Today. Anyone don't use Job Today, please don't. So and I think it works a little bit like Tinder, of like you like it, so you've got your own profile and you like what it is, and then they can contact you. I think, or something based on your profile.
Like, Bumble like that.
Kind of
where
like
you
Bumble,
it
kind of like
and it's
Hinge.
in the other person's hand.
Hinge and Bumble. Hinge. Hinge is the one that shows you who.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we. So yeah, okay. So then the guy that run the place got back to me. He was like, "Oh, would you like to come over for like a interview chat kind of thing?" I was like, "Yeah, definitely. I need the fucking work, mate." Key little detail, didn't put how much I get an hour on the little profile. Absolute classic, yep.
Yeah, there's another company who did something similar to...
So I go over and the guy, he was fairly alright. He wasn't that like bubbly or anything. He was very much like, there's a job, if you want it, have it or don't kind of thing. And he was just like, and I was like, oh yeah, so I'm looking to do like, I can only work weekends because of uni, but I'm looking to do like a 12-hour shift on the Saturday, Sunday, maybe 6-hour, but I need to get the hours in. And he was like, okay. And he did this thing that really fucks me off with people. He's like, you know, when you like properly engage with someone, your eye contact, he would like listen to me and he'd go like, yeah, okay, yeah. So we can do, like he'd wander off like almost and then answer and then look back at me a little bit and then go like, and he'd be like looking around. And he did a few things of like, while he was talking to me, like he would like check on the waitress over there and like ask her a question. It was like, mate, either fucking talk to me or call me back when you got a fucking half an hour free.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That boring.
Yeah,
like,
well, no, even that. It was like you're trying to get someone to fill this fucking job as well. Like
it's just like the worst fucking impression.
And I said to him, he was like, oh, so you've done waiting before? And I was like, yeah, because this is a distinction. So there's Be At One, which is a cocktail bar, and then there's All Bar One, which is like a restaurant more
it does restaurants, does coffee. It's open like longer in the day.
Yeah.
Does coffee, food, and
It's
has a bar.
really similar names, but
Yeah, they're the same
one's-
company
yeah.
and all of that, but it's just one's an extension of the other kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was going for the one that had restaurant and bar, and the guy said like, "Oh, so you've got
Tranquility-based
hotel?"
restaurant and
Yeah,
bar.
yeah, exactly.
I wanted to say that when you were saying about the spa. I was like,
So he was like, "Oh, so you have restaurant experience?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do, but I quite want to do bar stuff." And I was thinking, like, if I do the 12 hours, I could do 6 hours on the floor, like restaurant, fine, and then the 6 hours behind the bar. And he was like, "Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, of course. Do you have any experience behind the bar?" And I was like, "No, but I was hoping that, like, with the work, I can do it. Like, that's how I get fucking experience." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, okay, no worries." And he was like, "Okay, well, maybe come in next Saturday. We'll do a trial shift, see how you get on, that kind of thing." Always, when has there ever been? It's always waiting, isn't it?
Yeah,
always
I
like restaurant
did
work that you do a trial shift.
I did a trial shift because I think of like I feel like I should be paid for this because I have done a shift.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
But
so this is part of the. This is where the problems. And bear in mind, I was only there for a month and a half. So this all happens within the space of a month and a half. So I get there, do the trial shift, it's all fine. I'm with this woman she's all right, but like. And the kitchen is fucking like tiny, smaller than this room, smaller than like most like disabled toilets.
Yeah.
Probably the size of that.
Oof.
Kitchen for like the serving, like the hot plate, the sinks, the cookers, the deep fat fry, like all of it.
Christ, fuck me.
Yeah, small. And only ever one chef working in there, and like you'd have this little like walkway bit that you go and collect it.
Well.
Chef was a fucking arsehole as well.
Are.
Yep.
And they're always just like the angriest fucking people.
Yeah, the woman showed me around was all right, but it was all fine. Whatever. Did trial shifts, like it was just standard like restaurant stuff. Just show me what sections are all of that. Like fine. I was like, yes, okay, perfect, we'll do it. My line manager. Bear in mind, the boss that interviewed me, I probably saw him twice in the whole time. Like I don't know what days he worked. Maybe he worked during the week.
Yeah.
But
might have set himself up.
Maybe, yeah. But one of my line managers on weekends. I can't explain it, but he always reminded me of Brian from Family Guy.
What the fucking
Can't
dog?
explain it. Yeah, the dog. And I can't explain why, but he always had that, like, you know in Family Guy how their like eyes just like sit for a bit. His eyes would do that, and he'd have a little bit of like a odd face on him. Bloke from Ireland. I tried to bond with him because I'm half Irish. I was like, "Oh, whereabouts on Ireland are you from?" And he was like, "Oh, Dublin." I was like, "Oh, cool. I've got family in Kilkenny." And he was like, "Oh, cool. Like, can you do that?" I was like, "Oh, fuck off!" Like, I'm trying to
help.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Exactly. Work with me here. Exactly that. So yeah, he was a bit of a fucking bastard. There was one waitress though who was fucking smoking hot. Didn't speak a word of English.
I wonder why she was there.
Not very helpful in
As a waitress.
English-speaking country.
Yeah.
In London. Got no problem with it. She's hard working. Pestered me a lot to translate, which is irritating when you're waiting tables and you're busy.
That's bizarre.
Really
bizarre. I feel
bizarre.
like as a waiter, one thing you need to be able to do is speak the language that the menu's written in.
Also really irritating because each time I tried to flirt with her, I was getting very little back.
Yeah,
the severe language barrier.
Fucking falls flat on its ass.
We both spoke the language of love. Luckily. We didn't. I don't fucking hear from her anymore. Nothing happened. It's a shame. Romanian, I think she was. I think she's got a child now, actually. Yeah.
It's funny how that happens.
God bless her. Probably mine. No, I'm joking.
Little 1/3 Irish.
1/3 Irish, half Romanian. Anyway, that's by the way. So I do a couple of shifts. It's all fine. But bear in mind, and I was thinking about this today, actually. I don't know how. I'm 23 now. 18 only 5 years ago. Quick maths. I don't know how I used to do a fucking late night on a Friday, a 2 a.m. finish on a Wednesday, function on the Thursday, function on the Friday, then drinks on the Friday, 2 a.m. finish on the Friday, right? And then a 10 till 10 shift on the Saturday, and then a 10 till 6 shift on the Sunday, and then go again the next week.
Christ, I don't know how you did that.
I'm out of commission for like a good 2 days with a hangover now. If I have like a big, and I go hard, don't get me wrong.
I don't even have to go hard. I have like, someone could say the word alcohol to me and I've got a hangover.
See, I don't know how I did, like 18, I must have been like running on pure fucking adrenaline or something. I don't know how, but so I'll do these like 12-hour shifts, get like half an hour break or something stupid like that, go up to Pret, have a wee double espresso and a sandwich, and because they wouldn't feed me, of course they wouldn't. Why would they? Well, like I'm fucking.
That's actually one thing Spoons did.
They fed you,
but I think you had to pay for it.
Oh,
like, it was like you get
it's
half
Spoons
price,
though, isn't it?
But...
Oh, it's Spoons though, isn't it? That's all right.
Not too bad.
Okay, so and then I was working one Saturday day, and I had a really nice couple. They were having a coffee and that kind of thing, and I spoke really nicely with them. All of that, I was letting them do their thing, and I'm sort of working with other tables. Then my boss comes over and says, "Oh, table 14, they've left." I was like, yeah. And she was like, "Oh, did they pay?" I was like, "Yeah, they should have done, yeah." And she was like, "They didn't." I was like, "Fucking ask me then." She was like, "Oh, so yeah, I'll let you off this time, but what happens when a table leaves without paying? We take that from your pay, because that's your table. It's in your section, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah, and fucking 13 other bastard tables are as well that are full at the moment, love." They came in for luckily it was only like 6-7 quid or something for coffee. Man. But as she said that to me, I was like, "You fucking joking me?"
I actually had something very similar happen in a job I was in, which I actually lost that job because of.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke. I'm like, that's not my fucking problem. They walked out, they were being fucking shitheads about it. They were nice. I thought I could trust them, if I'm honest. That's probably why I took my eye off the ball. But what the fuck are you on about? She was like, "Oh, because obviously it's the first time happening, you didn't know about it, I'll let you off this." You're fucking right, you let me off about it. What are you talking about? I'm fucking 18, I've got fuck all to my name as it is.
Yeah.
So that happened. And already I was getting like, I don't like that policy straight away. And then there was the rugby lads' Christmas party.
Oh, Jesus.
Because this was around Christmas time. It was quite a nice time of year.
Mistletoe and wine.
Exactly that. And there was a rugby lads meal. They had like loads of alcohol, like whole section of the restaurant set up for them.
Spoon up each other's bums, typical thing.
They were doing the shoe thing, the shoey thing. Like, it's a shoe. You pour alcohol in a shoe and it's like, it's a shoe, it's still a shoe. And you have to finish it out the shoe. Doing all that kind of thing, rugby stuff. They were pleasant guys, like, they were chill. Like, they're that kind of table that would like hand you plates to help you.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's always like a mark of, it's like, "Oh, thank you so much." That's like, say me reaching over you, all of that. And they were all chill like that. Whole night goes on, gets to about like 9:30 or something. One of the lads comes up to me, he's like, "Oh, excuse me, mate." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I think someone like blocked the toilets or something. I think that something's gone on in the toilet." I was like, "Oh, okay, nice." I walk in, about an inch of like water from one of the urinals. Because I think one of them had thrown up in the urinal, basically.
Last place to throw up.
I know, grim. And
just do it in the toilet.
I was like, "Oh, that's fucking grim." Okay. Went over and told my manager. I was like, "Oh, one of the rugby lads has like thrown up, I think, like it blocked the toilet." So he was like, "Oh, okay, mop and bucket are over there." I was like, "Fucking what, Wem?" Mop and bucket over there, can you go and sort it?
How am I going to mop a urinal?
No, the floor. There's an inch of water all over the floor. I'm like, "Oh, I'll go and do that in my nice fucking shoes." Expected to serve tables afterwards. Fucking joking me. And I went in down and the rugby lads, each of them was like, "Oh, thanks, mate. Sorry about that. Oh, grim. Isn't that horrible? Oh, don't."
Like, yeah, you should be
fucking doing this. Like, what the fuck are you on about? And it was that point I was like, fuck this. Can't be asked for this shit.
You get that kind of thing in bar work. You really do.
Yeah. And then they underpaid. They didn't take my correct tax code. So my last paycheck with them, they took an extra like £100 or something. And I was like, "Can I get that back?" And they were like, "Oh, you need to contact HM and customers." I was like, you fucking bastards.
That sounds about right. I remember I worked.
Oh, and never works behind the bar, by the way. So you remember that we said at the beginning? Yeah. I never stepped foot behind that fucking bar. And anytime I asked them, "Can I go back?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah, we'll show you after. Fuck all. Bastards. Fucking hate the place.
I think you could just talk about, like, cunty bosses. Like, there are so many bosses who are just awful. like real shitty bosses.
Oh, and I had to do this fucking dumb online training.
Oh god, the online training.
And this guy, the boss, the only time I ever saw him was when he was like right up my arse about this online training. I was like, mate, I'm here like 12 hours, like 18 hours a week.
I know what I need to know at this point.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not a full-time member of staff, and I've got uni work to do. Of course, I haven't done your fucking online training. Something and me, Mildred and me, or something was like the company. It was like this little old lady that would like walk you through. You know the paperclip helper.
Yeah,
like their version of that.
Yeah, I know the kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think we should revisit this and talk about just like crappy bosses, because I've had some really crappy bosses, and I know that you have.
See, I've been lucky with that. That's my only job that I've hated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only job I've hated.
Think about that. You're like,
no, I'm just trying to think about the old jobs I've had before as well. I was a lifeguard.
Oh yeah,
I was a lifeguard at Virgin Active. That was good fun. Well, it wasn't fun. It was easy. It was really easy. I was a lifeguard for.
It's quite easy.
I was a lifeguard for an over 18s pool, and the membership there was like £70 a month. So everyone pretty much knew how to swim.
You'd hope. You'd hope they.
Well, I had to be alert, but
be alert.
Be alert.
Control virus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stay at home, stay safe, protect the NHS. We had to do training every month. We had to do competency training every month at a Virgin Active club of our choice, which was a bit of a ball ache sometimes when the only time it worked for me, I had to go up to like Barbican or something. But I got to check out I made it like, because you had to do like half an hour of the competence thing, just make sure you could swim. And then I go and like make the use of like the sauna and the spa and like made a bit of a day of it. Nice. That was quite fun.
Yeah, nice.
There's a nice little perks to it. Yeah, it was good little perks. And I only ever had to save one person from the water. She had a bit of cramp, so I just had to give her an arm out of the shallow end. You're right, darling. And she was like, yeah, I'm fine, just got a bit of cramp. And I recommended a little stretch for her. She was like, thanks, I'll do that. I radioed it to my boss. I was like, oh, it's not a big thing, but women had cramp, how to help her out. And she was like, oh, I'll check her in the change room. And she was like, oh, she said, thanks for the stretch. I was like, that's all right.
No problem.
No problem.
Stretch anytime.
Yeah. She was a nice looking girl. Yeah.
Funny old times.
Yeah. But apart from that, nothing really eventful happened with Virgin Active.
No. I think like
5:30 in the morning starts weren't that nice. Yeah, that's the hideous bit. Because I could only get there via a bus that was every 20 minutes and a bastard of one, and I'd be in for like 7.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty hideous.
Like, I think we should revisit this again, like, just to go over like all the different kinds of shit that gets thrown at you, like little weird incidences that just happen when you're working.
We need a part 2 to this because it's been a fucking long episode already.
It's been a big boy. I think we'll definitely pop into this little subject again at some point later down the line.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I reckon so.
You up for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
Are you up for that?
You up for
that?
You up for that?
You up for it?
Yeah.
Up for that? I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Just reinforcing the point.
What? When you say point, your point.
No, nothing like that.
Okay, I reckon we should wrap it there. You're quite right.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Okay, wrap your point.
I'll wrap my point.
Wrap your point up.
Got to stay safe, people. Wrap your point.
This episode's been off the rails, but I kind of dig it.
This one's been a bit more manic, isn't it?
Do you know why? I think we need to get it out of the system because last week's episode was like fucking dark.
Extremely
it was good fun,
and,
but dark, a little bit dark.
Yeah.
But we had to cover it. But yeah, Adam, thank you for joining me as always.
Man, as always.
Yeah, it's been good fun. Thank you very much for watching. As I said at the beginning, make sure to follow us on all our socials. They are in the description below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that like button. It really helps us out a lot, as every other YouTuber has said in their entire YouTube career. But it does, believe me. We've got to pray to the algorithm gods. We're nearly at 100 subscribers on YouTube.
That's good fun.
I reckon we can fucking smash that by next podcast, I'm hoping.
Next podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. See if that happens.
I reckon. I'm hoping so. We need to celebrate in some way. But yeah, as always, I have been Greg, joined by Adam. This has been the TMR podcast, and we will see you in the next one.